Youth are important members of our communities and have vital contributions to make to the well-being of their peers in society. There is a need to engage the youth because they are a social group that has generally been excluded from the community development, policy, and power. Research among the youth is important because it encourages and allows young people to find out about the issues that interest and influence them so that we can make positive changes in their areas. It is important that young people are involved in researching issues that affect them because we understand and experience these issues themselves. Conducting research also gives them valuable research skills, critical thinking, and experience in conducting research. The recent trend in research is the involvement of a variety of scientific and technical disciplines. For example, life sciences research draws on the expertise not only of biologists but increasingly also on scientists from engineering, mathematics, computer science, chemistry, material science, and many other disciplines. The importance of integrating contributions drawn from these multiple disciplines and applying them to life sciences challenges has been recognized in a variety of recent reports and articles. Some examples of integrations are: computational biology involves the integration of computer science, biology, and mathematics. Molecular medicine integrates molecular biology, pharmacology, chemistry, and medicine. Astrobiology is a combination of biology, astronomy, chemistry, physics, and geology. Research is an organized and systematic way of finding answers to questions. Organized because there is a structure or method in going about doing research. It is a planned procedure, not a spontaneous one. It is focused and limited to a specific scope. Systematic because there is a definite set of procedures and steps which you will follow. There are certain things in the research process which are always done in order to get the most accurate results. Finding answers is the end of all research. Whether it is the answer to a hypothesis or even a simple question, research is successful when we find answers. Sometimes the answer is no, but it's still an answer. Take note, a negative result is still a result. Questions are central to research. If there is no question, then the answer is of no use. Research is focused on relevant, useful, and important questions. Without a question, research has no focus, drive, or purpose. Research begins with an unanswered question in the mind of the researcher. It requires a plan and demands a clear statement of the problem. It seeks direction to the appropriate hypothesis and deals with facts and their meaning. Finally, research is considered as circular. To sum up, in science we build on what we know, and the term research underscores the idea that new science builds on a huge existing body of scientific knowledge that is well documented. In school, those who can write a good story or draw beautiful pictures are considered the special ones who are creative. But research shows that all people are creative. In fact, creativity is one of the most important characteristics of being human. It is one of the main traits that make us successful as individuals and as a species. Creativity, it turns out, is not only the domain of painters, singers, and playwrights, but also of scientists and engineers. Creativity is the creation of an idea or object that is both novel and useful. Creativity is a new idea that has value in solving a problem or an object that is new or useful. For example, If you're doing an experiment on cells and you want to find out why those cells keep dying, you have a problem. It really takes a level of creative thought to solve that problem. In some cases, serendipity or any discovery by chance favors a prepared creative mind. For example, in 1928, Dr. Fleming discovered penicillin after observing that the fungus Penicillium inhibits the growth of Staphylococcus bacteria. But being creative in science requires brain power. Science and being creative in science means thinking unconventionally and looking at something from a different perspective. Creativity is first and foremost anatomic. Scientists discovered that the brain of physicist Albert Einstein had greater brain cell density, especially in the areas responsible for mathematical reasoning and spatial conceptualization. Passion also plays an important role in the creative pursuit of science. According to James Watson, to have success in science, you need some luck. But to succeed in science, you need a lot more than luck. And it's not enough to be smart. Lots of people are very bright and get nowhere in life. In his view, you have to combine intelligence with a willingness not to follow conventions when they block your path forward. Creativity or the lack of it is partly cultural. Luckily, we don't have this type of environment in our country. However, they say the first 5 years of life are the most formative years. At an early age, children can be taught to observe and learn a lot from nature. But don't do so. It is still not too late to wake up your creativity. One way is stimulating a person to think creatively can make that person more creative, such as using tangrams or puzzles. Or you can be inspired by the people around you, such as your parents, science teachers in grade school and high school, later on, college professors, research project leaders, some political leaders, science administrators, and even science agencies. As for myself, I have met two world renowned Filipino scientists who became my inspirations while doing research. Both with humble beginnings, Dr. Oliveira and Dr. Padlan have made a name for themselves in the field of drug discovery and proteomics. Dr. Baldomero M. Oliveira is a distinguished professor at the University of Utah. He is known for his work on biomolecules called conotoxins, which were isolated from Conus marine snails collected from Philippine seas. I mentioned details of his work in the Introduction to Scientific Method video. Dr. Eduardo A. Padlan is a world-renowned scientist whose expertise are in molecular immunology, antibody structure reactivity, protein structure, and protein crystallography. He recently retired from the National Institute of Health, Bethesda, Maryland. He studied sequences of prions to determine the probable cause of mad cow's disease. Government projects play a big role in developing creativity among the youth. NASA has continued to explore outer space using state-of-the-art technology like the Mars rover, who looks like Wall-E. Locally, we have the Philippine Genome Center just a few steps from UPIS. They were able to produce a cheaper and faster COVID-19 detection kit. Sci-fi books such as The Time Machine and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea can fire up the imaginations of scientists and scientists in the making. Science TV series and movies such as Star Trek has been providing us with ideas for scientific development for decades, such as the wireless phone, computer tablet, and the concept of video call. To develop interest in research, we must equip the youth with the tools of mathematics and the basic sciences. We should also encourage them to read about the lives of outstanding scientists like Dr. Clara Lim-Silianco and Dr. Hilario Lara and other national scientists. The key is imagination tempered with discipline and analytical prowess. The following slides show some examples where creativity and analytical skills come together. Researchers have discovered that iron in seawater is the key binding agent in the super strong glues of the common blue mussel, Mytilus edulis. This is the first time researchers have determined that a metal such as iron is critical to forming an amorphous biological material. Researchers have now revealed that Darwin's bark spider has the toughest silk ever seen, more than twice as tough as any previously described silk and more than 10 times stronger than Kevlar. Researchers have discovered a deep-sea sponge with glass fibers remarkably similar to the optical fibers in today's state-of-the-art telecommunication devices. These fibers could lead to stronger synthetic versions and lower production cost. For other researches and inventions, aside from journal articles, you can visit the websites of the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, for local inventions, the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines, and for local researches, National Research Council of the Philippines.